Hi, Noah Pinehurst here. In this video I want to show you a program called RIOT. It's short for Radical Image Optimization Tool. This is a really important tool when it comes to optimizing your images for your website. So let me show you what I mean specifically. Let me open up my Firefox here real quick. I'm going to take you over to my business website and click on blog. And what you'll see is on my blog, every blog has a featured image, and this featured image is really important. It's really important for SEO purposes. So let me go ahead and click on that's a featured image. Let me go ahead and click on the blog on the post itself, and you'll see here's the image again. And down below, I've got some additional images as well. So if I click on them, they come up so you can read them and see them. So now those images are as optimized as I can get them. So let me show you what I mean. So here's an image, and at the same time, this is a really good trick to know. So often what people will do is they'll right click and they'll say save image and go save it somewhere. Another quick way to deal with that is you can actually just open up your file explorer, or even if you just want to slap it on your desktop real quick, we can drag and drop it, and there's the image, and then you can open up the image. So it's a quick way to get images off from the web. But you'll also, let me drag it into here real quick so that I can see the file size. So you'll see it's 54K. It's pretty small. It's highly compressed. So let me delete those real quick and get back to this RIOT. So back to the RIOT. So this is the RIOT tool. What you'll want to do is open up your browser and do a search for RIOT Image Optimization Tool, and then look for the link for lucicrossweb.ro.riot or /riot. Sorry. When you click that link, you'll be taken to a page like this. It's actually responding to my browser, so it may be more like this. In any case, click download and go ahead and download it and install it. So I'm just going to show you. I've already installed it, but I'm going to walk you through that just so that you're comfortable using this tool. It's always good. Let me click on download. It's always good to understand what you're looking for. So I'm going to click yes there. And this is a basic install. So you click next, and here's the license agreement. Click agree, and here's where it's going to be installed at. Additionally, what you'll see is space required. And this is a really small program. I mean, these guys did a great job with this tool. 1.3 megabytes, that's pretty small. You'll see I've got 30 gigabytes because this is actually a virtual machine that I'm doing this video on. So click next. If you want the docs, keep it checked if you don't want the documentation, but you save a megabyte, I guess. Click next and go ahead and let it run. It's going to install. There it goes, and it's completed. You can click on show details just to make sure that that was the only thing installed. Sometimes that's helpful. There's some free programs out there that will install other tools, for example, Google Chrome or McAfee virus, while you're installing the program, and you'll just have to keep your eye out for that while you're clicking through it to choose not to install those. In any case, let's hit close, and now let's go back to my pictures here, and let's go grab. Let me open this up. Let's go grab a photo, something that is probably going to be pretty big. Here's one that I've used before, but you can see, you do Austin, Texas HD photo. I did HD photo just to get a photo that was kind of big. And where is this from? So this guy, let's go take a look real quick. I'm just holding down the control key while I click and see what it says here. So design trends, graphics for desktops. So this is for desktop wallpaper stuff. Really, ooh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So here, let's just drag and drop that. Put it right there. All right. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to just go Control X, and I'm going to go to Documents and go Control V. And now we can see the file size. That's the only reason why I moved it, so I didn't have to mess around with it up there. In my documents, I already have this set. So it's 963K. Another way to identify the size is Properties, and right there, 962K. So it's not even a megabyte in size. So it's a pretty good, that's pretty small. Here's the image. It actually fits the screen here, this image viewer is set for shrink to fit, so it's shrinking to fit this window. But if we right click it and say actual size, there it goes. So now you can kind of see there's the, I'm going to drag it till I get there's the right and bottom edge. That's as far as I can pull it. So you can see it's actually really big. The dimensions are quite huge, which is perfect for what I want to show you what this does. So I'm going to close this up, and again we see it's 963K. That's not, if this is an image that I was going to use on a blog post, that's not the size that you would want to upload. It's just too big. It's too close to a megabyte. I like to stay in the 100K range. So let's open up RIOT, and let me shrink that so it'll fit. And I'm going to drag and drop this into RIOT. This right here, don't worry about this. This is, I'm going to click yes, and then I'm going to go through just saying okay. Really, that's just so it'll fit in this little window. So I'm going to go ahead and maximize it. And then I'm going to hit this 1-to-1, so it'll bring up that whole image. So now we're actually viewing the actual size of the image here. So when you're using RIOT, one of the things you'll notice, let me go back to shrink to fit. There we go. One of the things you'll notice is a quality bar down here, and you'll see the initial image size is 962 and the optimized size is 405. So around, so 400K. So we'll say 400K. So what we can do is if we bring this up, you'll see that file size go up, and it's actually adding more data to it now. But in any case, at 100%, you don't see anything. So now I'm going to go 1-to-1, and it still looks pretty good. But if I bring it all the way down, you'll see it'll pixelate the hell out of it. So we've got 44K is where it's final, where it's most optimized, and we got 900K, 960, where it's the original size. So let's just bump that up a little bit. What I'll do is I'll go about half, and let's go to back and forth here, 1-to-1. And what I'll do is find an area that's really detailed. So like kind of this area, this kind of corner area, a light and dark area is really detailed. So let's keep our eye on that. I'm going to change this, move this bar to the left, and see if anything happens. And it's starting, I can see a little bit of difference, and the change is by half already. So let's go some more. Because if it's not, in this kind of image, it's not that, that important. We can see our edges are still looking good right here. I can tell a little bit of difference. I don't know if you can on the screen. Like here's the inside of a window, and here it is over here. It still looks pretty good, and look how far I've come. So can I get it to 100K? If I was going to use this, can I get it to 100K and still look good? So now we're at 10. I can still see it in there, but if you compare it to this over here, it's pixelated. You can maybe move my mouse. And we're still not under 100K. So this is where I would actually change the dimensions of the image. And that would be another tutorial, but you would open it up and change the dimensions of that image and then bring it back in. The image itself is pretty, like I said, pretty large. It's 2560 by 1600, so it's a big layout. But let's go ahead and just leave it right there. You can tell pretty good it's pixelated. Let's take that out. So let's bring that up a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. About right there. Yeah, that's about right. You can barely see any subtle changes, but we did compress it. We did get it optimized. So I'm going to hit save. And normally, if I know that I'm done with this image, I would just hit yes. But in this case, I'm going to hit no. And I'm also going to put on the end here, V1. So what I like to do versions for my images and files if I'm making changes. And in this case, I'm just going to use V1. And that way I don't overwrite, and if I get to like version 4 and I'm still not gaining any optimization, I can go back to 3 and try again. Also, when I'm making major edits, like in Photoshop or something, it's really useful. But nonetheless, okay, so I'm going to hit save. Now that image is saved, we can see it really did, 423K. That's almost, it's a little bit more than half. So now when I open it, it looks pretty good. See, if I open up the original, so there they are. I mean, it's not too bad. The difference isn't too much. Like the two buildings still look good. This here with this here. It looks pretty good. So it's a great tool to really, really get some photos shrunk up. I still wouldn't put 412K onto a web page. But you see how useful this tool can be. It's a great free tool. I recommend anybody that is having to deal with images to download it and use it. It's not the only tool I use when I'm putting together featured images for my blog post. This is like the final step. Another tool that I do want to show you though, it's called Tiny PNG. Let's see, I believe it's Tiny PNG. Yeah, it is. So you'll notice Tiny PNG, you can just drop a file there. So if I was to, and these are JPEGs. Let me grab a PNG. Let me grab a PNG. And so here we go. Is that a PNG? Let's see. Let me drop it, drag and drop it and see. Yeah, so it's a PNG. So you can come over to, let me come back to Tiny. There we go. And we can just drag this. Now watch what they're going to do. They really do a great job at compressing it over here. And there's a plugin that you can download and install into Adobe. But look at that, 290K. I mean, that's better than my 423, but they did start off a little bit lower. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and download it. Well, let's open it up real quick. So there's the PNG, and let's find the original. Here's the original. So there's the original, and here's the new one. So you can kind of see they did a pretty good job. I mean, it's really amazing how much they were able to optimize that image over at Tiny PNG. The good news is that over here RIOT actually does PNGs. So you could go to PNG, throw your PNG in there. It's gonna crash on me here. Let me kill it real quick. Close window. It's really best just to kill it and then open it back up and then throw your image in there. That is the one downside. So here it is. I'm going to drop it in and go over here to PNG, let it work. There it goes. Okay, so it's done pulling it in. And so now you can actually do some optimization. You can reduce the colors, color reduction, true color, medium, compression, medium. Right here you can see it started at 920, it's already at 826. You don't have as many options, so now let's do that. It does have quite a few things that are of interest. Sometimes, like your own personal images, there may be information in that image that you don't want public, and as soon as it's done here, I'll show you. You can go in here and you can say remove metadata, but for your personal info, you can just say remove all this when it goes to save. Also, you've got brightness, contrast, gamma. You can manipulate those, but you can see that's about as much as we've got out of ours on this tool. You can switch this to optimal 260, and let's see what happens. So there it goes. It drops to 260, and then we can try even a 128 color palette and see how much that actually works. Because maybe you don't need all 256 colors for the image. Not all images are the same, so they'll work a little bit differently. Yeah, we only got to 212 with 128. So let's try 16. 16 colors. And that's what it looks like with 16 colors. And it brought it to 94K. So not too shabby, but it changed it dramatically. So let's put it back. We'll put it back to 126. And, 128. And then let it run. Now we'll go back to, let's see what happens when we shrink this up. Color quantization algorithms. Really slow means it's going to take a long time to work out these colors. So it's done. And I got to 172. That's not bad. That's not bad. It looks really good. You can see I can still see that very faint dot right there as I can on the original. It doesn't have any, the green bouncing off of the glass here still looks really good over here. The blue bouncing off the glass here still looks really good. And on, the red is missing. Some of that red's missing. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some red missing on the other one. So anyways, that's another way to compress a PNG. PNG, JPEG, GIF, understanding those. There's so much information on the web. Just Google them up to find out. But in any case, I wanted to show this tool off, introduce you to it, make sure that you felt comfortable with it. And definitely, please make sure that when you upload images for your blog or for your website, optimize those images. Get them as compressed and as small as you, without degrading the image itself. And that's it. Okay, hope that was helpful. For any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. All right, thanks. Bye.